that's working with the mini mill, trying to cut through big logs. The thing is, you need to go through and quarter it, so you cut it in half, turn it over, cut the other bit out, and hopefully get it down to a size where you can mill it with a small chainsaw Alaskan mill. The next thing you've got to do is line up for the second cut, which is quite difficult, and also you've got to put some wedges on either side of the log to stop it splitting in half and rolling over onto you when you've finished. So I'll just get on with this cut and stop now and start again as I get close to the end. Back on the final cut, stop this log rolling Now all I've got left to do is split that over, turn it over, cut those other two halves in half again so they've got quarters. Now I've got two half logs. I'm going to cut off both edges on both logs, cutting off the sapwood, square the end, and then I'll do a cut right down the middle, so I've got the corners relatively squared off, so I can then start to cut it with the Alaskan mill later on. But this gets all the logs out of the way, ready for milling into more lumber. Side on see how simple it is. It's just a tiny little mill, G55, and a little rail on a piece of wood, but very effective. Well, you can now see I've got this into quarters. You can see some of the lumber here done already, all quartered up. That's quite a bit. Most of those are 3 metre length with some 2 metres, and that big log over there, you can see just to the left of that metal rod there's obviously some wire in that, so I'll have to cut that into 2 bits and get another 2 metre length, and the other bit with firewood, I think. And here you can see that's now quartered. Just need to roll it over here and need to do that next one. And you can see there's a really huge log there. This one that I'm just doing was well, 6 metres long. The other one was 9 metres. That one is probably, well, at least 9, possibly 12 metres long. And of course I've been cut into 3s because that's the longest plank I've got basically, and then the rails I can go to another about 3.5 metres with those little rails on that, as you can see on this plank here. There's a little rail that the chainsaw runs along, helps keep it straight, and there's some more ready for milling with the Alaskan mill. This tree was 30 metres tall, well, the 2 trees, and they were both on split into multiple branches. One had 3 trunks, which are these ones here, and as I say, 30 metres, so they ended up when they came down right by that fern in the distance there. I'll just quickly go down here. This is all the bit of offcuts. Now all these planks here, they were done just with that G55 mini mill, because I get a bit of depth on that. The Alaskan mill I can only get 340 max millimeters between the bars, and you can't really do a full max like that because it doesn't cut well. It's just too thick for too wide. And here's some more that I did. See some quite big slabs in there, and then there's an old pile down there which is you know, all 1-inch planks of different widths. And that'll be it for now. I've got other things to do, and hopefully I'll show you around the property later on.